So we often hear the Course mention the Christ. When you see the face of Christ in your brother, you find union, you find truth. It's not speaking to what most people might think. It's speaking to Jesus Christ. According to the Course, Jesus, yes, was the Christ, as are you. And the reason Jesus was designated as Jesus Christ was because he knew himself in truth. He knew the Christ that he is, whereas most people walking around on the planet don't. And so he represented to us in a body what we all are. His purpose was to be that representation that we might choose to practice what he practiced in order to realize for ourselves our truth as Christ. Christ is God's Son, capital S, or God's creation as he created him, pure and simple, whole and complete, all powerful, invulnerable, can't be harmed, can't get sick, can't die, created his son like himself, or created her daughter like herself. She is the self we share, uniting us with one another and with God as well. So the Christ is that part of us that we all share. We're being asked to recognize that light in each other so that we recognize it in ourselves and we remember our union. He is the thought which still abides within the mind that is his source. And just notice the capitalizations, right? He, the Christ, is the thought, capital T, which still abides within the mind, capital M, that is his source. Source is mind. God is mind. God is not a body, a white man with a white beard sitting in a golden throne with a big white robe and some sort of cane. It's fine to visualize that way because, in our human ego mind, we attach visuals to things. It's fine. But know that God is not a physical body and is much more than that, right? If you're not physical, then you can't be in one point in one place in time. You're everywhere always. God is everywhere always. You are everywhere always. God is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent, all-knowing, all-powerful, and everywhere always, as are you. And so this is the self that we truly are, that we come from. And this is the self that the Christ is, God's extension or God's creation as you. And so he is the thought which still abides within the mind that is his source. Now, interestingly enough, I've been reading a lot. I've always been interested in quantum physics and quantum mechanics. This is what quantum physics says. Quantum physics says there is a conscious mind and it is a thought, and everything is a thought, and everything that's material is thought condensed down into form. Still a thought, still non-material, but condensed down and through vibration to appear solid. But when you take it all apart, there's nothing solid there. What reason I'm mentioning this, because the Course says science and religion will eventually come together, which is what we're witnessing happening. And so these quantum physicists, they invented this computer program that computers, non-quantum computers, work on zeros and ones, binary, on, off, on, off, on, off. So they created this program that generates randomly. It's like flipping a coin. If you flip a coin once or twice, it'll land on heads or tails. It could land on tails 3 or 4 times in a row. But if you flip that coin thousands of times and you notate, create a side for tails and a side for heads, over time, there will be an equal number of tails and equal number of heads. Just over time, it evens out if you toss randomly. Well, that's what these generators do, these computer generators. They basically, like tossing a coin, they come up with a 1 or a 0. Over time, it's even. But if you go to that computer and just with your mind, set the intention of seeing more zeros or more ones, just focus on ones, it starts to skew the random generator, just your mind. And over time, there will be a lot more ones than zeros. This is real. Like, this is what's happening all the time. Your mind is cause. Your thoughts in your mind, your thinking generates your reality. It feels like the reality is already there, and then we're witnessing it and then we're experiencing it, we're having thoughts and feelings about it. But the truth is, the thoughts and ideas and beliefs, judgments, interpretations were already there, and they're generating the reality you see. This can occur because all things are joined together under God. All things are the Christ mind.